is it, Friday? Whew. And today's class is all levels. All of my classes are all levels, and I call them all levels because I give a ton of modifications and what I like to think of as bus stop movements. So if you feel good here, go here. If you're not feeling like that's really a great idea, stay here. So even today, if you notice that there's a pose that you're like, that's not all levels, know that I've probably given like 4 or 5 modifications before that, or have given lots of instruction that don't take it further than you feel comfortable with. You have a lot going on right now, so don't add to your stress, right? We're gonna start laying down on our bellies. I have 2 blocks with me and a blanket and a strap just in case I need them, so it's always nice to have your little yoga artillery, is that even the word? Your yoga stuffs that you might need for class. We're starting laying down on our bellies, one arm on top of the other, forehead resting onto our arms, eyes closed, nose not pressed into the floor as best as we can, and the legs can be pretty wide apart on the mat. So you can actually give yourself some space between your thighs, not having as many things touching itself, you know? Even in the body, we don't really want to have a lot of stuff coming in together here right now, but instead just feeling like we have the freedom to spread out, to give our hips time to rock a little bit, or give our bodies time to breathe. And your head is down, and I always start the same way. I am laying on my stomach, but I'm not going to place my head down so that you can hear me. As you inhale, feel your belly expand. As you exhale, feel your belly contract. Take your time with your breath, letting every inhale lead to the exhale. Every exhale lead to your inhale. Letting your breath be slow and soft and relaxed. And just giving yourself this opportunity to let go of all of the words around who you are. Let go of all of the terminologies, all of the labels, and get really deep into the actual being that we are, which is this kind of soul traveling throughout this, for lack of a better term, meat suit, right? It is very hard to create connections with others when we don't have connection with ourselves. So give yourself some time to get involved in your own soul, in your own body, so that you can find that connection to the divine and to everyone else. Staying with every inhale and exhale. Focusing on your breath and letting go of your name, letting go of your role in society, just to become very aware of the deeper being you are. I've written about and talked about this multiple times in classes and books, in interviews, in many different ways, in social media. You are a soul. You have a body. This body is your way of navigating this reality, this life. And you were given the body that you need to navigate this life at this time in the way it needs to be navigated. But all in all, you are a soul. You just have a body. But just like anything else that we use to navigate life, a car, or our home, we have to take care of this body. And that is only accomplished by learning more about it. Go ahead and make sure your legs are wide apart. Bend both of your knees and start to windshield wiper your legs from side to side. So both legs go from one direction and then they go across to the other direction. See if you can soften the tension in the back of the neck and the front of the throat as you do this. If you can relax your shoulders. Let the movement be slow and steady or fast and sporadic. Let the breath match the movement though. So if you're moving faster than you're breathing, slow the movement down. And if you're breathing faster than you're moving, then you're going to have to speed that movement up. Maybe your breath is inhaling in one direction and exhaling on the other. Maybe you like to inhale into center and exhale in one direction, then inhale back to center and exhale. But whatever you are doing, remember that the breath is consistent and continuous. So it goes inhale to exhale, exhale to inhale, inhale to exhale, exhale to inhale. Not as fast as I'm speaking, but with that continuous rolling of breath. And we do that on purpose. We don't want to have these lax in our breathing practices. We don't want to hold our breath. Let's take it through one more time from side to side. Just letting the body rock from side to side, letting the hips rock from side to side if that's happening for you. And then let's get right back into center. Extend those legs. Press your hands into the floor, and we're going to draw back into a child's pose. So your knees are wide and your feet are going to come towards each other. Your belly's going to rest between your thighs. One arm can come under the other, and you can press your hand or let your head rest on your arms. Or you can bring the head and torso all the way down to the mat. I'd like you to draw your hips back. Okay? So if that means that your head has to be elevated, maybe you are just letting your head rest on your hands, then I'd like you to do that. So it's more important here for me at this point, or in this video today, that you're drawing the tailbone back towards the heels and you're getting a little bit more space in your lower back and a lot more space in your upper back. So you can start to find some broad breath in the back of the ribs. So we honestly, a lot of us think of the ribs just because we see pictures of anatomy face on. So we think of the ribs being only in the front of the body, but remember that your ribs expand around the side body and are behind you as well. So they're little cup-shaped almost, or half-moon shapes. So as you inhale, you can breathe and you can actually feel the ribs expand sides and back and front. And then as you exhale, you can release, allowing your body to really settle towards the earth. So you're getting into these spaces between your ribs so that your lungs can really expand, can really take on the body, can really open up. Your lungs are huge. So taking on that space that comes into the lungs, and then letting go and letting space come into the body. So we'll do this a couple more times, really breathing into the back body. We don't typically think of our back body at all. So really breathing into it. We can't see it, so we don't think about it. What's going on back there? And then one more breath, just like this. And then we're going to quietly come forward into hands and knees. Unless you're snap, crackle, and pop, then you're not so quiet. Your hands are going to come underneath of your shoulders and your knees underneath of your hips. So remember that you were wide, and now we need to move the knees in. If your wrists are hurting today, take your hands forward a little bit from your shoulders. Not much, but just enough to take some of the pressure off the direct descending power of the wrist. As you inhale, let your belly draw down, roll your shoulder blades back, lift the center of your chest and lift your tail. And then as you exhale, round your spine. Get as much space in the back as you can. And as you're moving between these two positions, notice how much mobility you have in one direction versus the other. Notice how much mobility you have at the top of the spine, middle, and bottom. So remembering that in yoga, we're working in, we're learning about ourselves, we're learning about how our body handles pressure, handles stress, where we store pain and pressure and discomfort, where we store the discomfort of experience, where we store the discomfort of injury, and how it affects everything in our lives. Let's take it one more time from side or from round to reverse. And then bring your spine to a neutral position. So a lot of times when we bring into neutral, our belly hangs down or we might round too much. I want you to think of your tailbone reaching back and the top of your head reaching forward so that your neck's nice and long. You'll often notice that I look towards the camera here to talk to you, but really my head should be facing forward in most situations. We're going to walk the hands forward from our shoulders and spread the fingers really wide. And then from here, the shoulders are going to come towards the ears, or we'll come back a bit and shift our hips back. And then we'll tuck our toes under, and we're going to start to press through our toes and through the base of each of our fingers as we start to lighten the load on the knees. Now pull your core in so that you're not doing this all with the stacking of the bones. And then start to slide the buttocks up towards the sky and straighten the legs. Then from here, with the shoulders towards the ears a little bit, you're not hugging the shoulders into the ears, they're just up a little bit. And then we're going to roll the shoulders away from the ears. So even though we have this little external rotation of the upper arms, and then we press down through the thumb and first finger parts of the hands. The rest of the fingers are pushing down as well, but not so much the wrist. Lift your heels as high as you can, look back at your feet, and take your feet about hip distance apart. Keep the hips lifting, keep a rise in the tail. Keep the core engaged, even bring the ribs in just a little bit here, so you can broaden the back. Shake out your head, soften your neck and your jaw, and then start to walk out your dog. Bend one knee, lower the opposite heel towards the floor, creating as much space in the back of that leg as you can, and then switch. Notice that there's a lot of space here between your hands and your feet. If we started to take less space, we might be able to get the heel closer to the floor, but we would actually be in a forward fold, or some variation of a forward fold. If you're finding that the heels aren't touching the ground, place blocks or height under your hands, and that will help a great deal. Take it through one, maybe two more times, finding that movement, finding that space. And then lift your heels as high as you can again. Let's lift the tail. And then keep yourself on your toes and start to walk your feet forward, tiny baby steps. As you come forward, press down into the mat through the hands and bring the feet as close to the front of the mat as you can. Your head's been down for a while and it's going to stay down just for a breath or two more as you collect your things, maybe placing your blocks on each side of your feet. And then from here, we're going to start to roll the body up. So bend your knees, press into your feet, let your head hang, and then slide the body up almost vertebrae by vertebrae as if you can isolate each part of your spine. Come all the way to standing, roll your head back and bring the arms down by your sides. Open your eyes if they are closed. Relax the shoulders. See if you can find that alignment of the ears, the shoulder, the rib, the side of the hip, the side of the knee, the side of the ankle. If you notice that you're rolling forward here, don't worry, but notice how if I roll forward, my belly kind of pushes forward as well. So I'm kind of in this weird position. I'm overdoing this, of course. So if I try to draw my shoulders back, press through my feet, let the front of my thighs lift to help lift the hip bones, to help lift the chest, keeping the ribs from splaying too much and letting my tailbone draw down. This posture is in every posture in yoga. Seated, standing, inverted, etc. You are still looking for alignment. Reach your arms up and overhead, stretch the fingertips to the sky. Grab hold of your right wrist, keep the alignment, but just start to stretch to the left, pulling gently on your wrist with your left hand. Inhale, come right back into center, grab your left wrist, and exhale and lean to the right, pulling gently on your left wrist with your right hand, especially for those of you who have tight wrists. Inhale, come back into center. Exhale, bring your hands forward as if you're going to press the wall away. Now retract your shoulders, bring them back, and then let the arms come back down. So you're not standing at attention, you're drawing the shoulders into their shoulder sockets. Take one more breath here, just kind of finding your stance, making sure your feet are hip distance apart. We've discussed this in the past. And then reaching the arms back up again. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees so that your spine gets long. Let the head hang. See if you can focus a little bit more on your lower back for right now. And then on your next inhalation, shift your weight into the feet and really press the hands into the shins, straightening your legs. So you're actually drawing back through your shoulders. Exhale, forward fold, take it right back down. And then we'll inhale and we'll start our Sun Salutation, bringing that right leg back. Let that right leg stay back. The left knee goes over top of the ankle and then lower the right knee to the floor. Untuck your toes and sweep both arms up by your ears. For those of you who don't like that, go ahead and just keep your hands on the blocks or on the floor, or place your hands on your thighs and work on that balance. Make sure the chest is facing forward here, so the same direction as your knee, as the arms come up. You might notice when I turn to look at you, my chest turns as well. So looking forward here helps you to stay navigated in that center line. Experience what's going on in the body from the fingertips to the tip of the toes behind you. And then let your center of your chest lift a little bit more, coming into a slight back bend. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the blocks. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then with an exhale, we're going to step the right foot forward. That's our half Sun Salutation. Inhale, place your hands onto your shins, lengthen hips over ankles, so don't lean back to get here, right? Bringing that space into the back body. And then exhale, bring it right back down. Inhale, left leg comes back. Find that lunge. So press back, lower the knee. You can place something under your knee if you need to, untuck your toes. You can stay here, or you can place your hands onto your thigh, chest centered to the center of that small side of your mat, or centered forward. Or you can lift your arms up. You're here for a little bit. You're not just shoving your hips down, right? You're actually squeezing your legs towards midline to help get height in your body, but then also allowing a stretch to come into the front of your left hip, to come into the front of your left thigh, to come into the bottom of your right thigh and glute. Lifting the center of the chest, maybe coming into a little bit more of a back bend. In this day and age, it's hard to get that space in the front of the body. And then exhale, place the hands down. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and this time let's step all the way back with our right foot and come into a plank. You can do this with blocks under your hands if you want to, or you can lower the blocks, or move the blocks. And then from this position, lower just your knees. Keep the engagement in your core so the belly stays strong here. And then bend the elbows back towards your ribs, so they're not coming out to the side, back towards the ribs. If you can only go here, stay here. Or draw down, hug your elbows into your ribs, and then slide your chest forward and roll your shoulder blades back, lifting through the center of the chest. The blocks do give you more height here. Tuck your toes, pull your belly button to your spine, engage your core, and roll that body back into a down dog. Shake out your head if you need to, or just let it hang. Soften your breath. Big deep inhales and exhales the whole time, pressing the thighs back. On your next inhalation, we're going to step the right foot forward. And to do that, I'd like you to lift both your heels. Now, for some of us, right foot forward needs to be halfway, and then we grip and pull. And you're going to do that if you want to. Or some of us are going to lift our right leg high, not open, but high. Good. And then you're going to bring your chest towards your thigh and really hinge from the hip. Stretch through your toes. And then pull that right knee in towards your belly by engaging your core. Carry that right knee forward towards the chest, shoulders over the wrist. And then step that right foot between your hands. Blocks or not, that's how we can do it as well. The left knee is going to stay up, or you're going to place it back down again. And you're going to place your hands onto your right thigh. So you could be here, or you could be here. Reach the arms up, again, finding that stretch. And let's place this left hand to the outside of the right knee as we push back through the left heel if the knee is lifted. Sweep that right arm back, reach towards that left heel. You could be here. Take this right hand to your lower back or your left thigh and lift the left arm up. Stay breathing. Stay strong. Squeeze to center. Beautiful. On your next exhale, lower the left hand down to the block or floor and inhale that right arm up to the sky. So you remain in a twist. Hug your right knee towards you. Push back through your left heel. Exhale as you lower the right hand down to blocks or floor. And then on your next inhalation, lift your back knee if it's down, lift your chest away from your knee. And then as you exhale, carry that left foot forward. Forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Find your balance, don't push your hips back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back. So we have that nice, strong, high lunge if we're using it today. If not, we're just lowering the knee to the floor, right? So we're choosing the one that works for us. Right knee stays over the ankle. Hands come to the right thigh. We're seeing how this feels first, and then lifting the arms. We did the same leg over again, didn't we? Hands come down. Right foot back, left foot forward. I apologize. Arms come back up. So for those of you who need it, it's this or it's this. Hold here for another breath. Take that right hand to the outside of your left knee. Sweep your left arm back towards your right ankle. Knee could be down. Take that left hand to the lower back. Reach your right arm up, or take your hand to your thigh. Big, strong legs. You should probably not say big, strong legs, but you do have strong legs. And then take your right hand down, left arm up. Hug your left knee in. Stay strong. Keep breathing. Hold on to it. One more breath. Exhale, left hand comes down. Inhale, step back into your plank. Exhale, lower the knees, or keep your knees lifted this time. Bend your elbows back towards the hips. So notice I shifted forward to do so. Lower. Inhale, lift the chest, roll it back. Open the space. One more breath. Exhale, down dog. Big stretch. Awesome. Sorry about that switch of legs on you. Woohoo live classes. It's just like taking it with me. All right, here we go. Both heels lift. This time we're going to go ahead and bring this left leg forward. But before you do that, figure out how you want to. So maybe the left leg comes straight up and back, and you start to bring your chest closer to your thighs, not opening the hip, right? Keeping the hips level. Hold and breathe. One more breath. Let's pull that knee in. Carry forward. Strong core carries that body forward. And step. Well done. Good job, guys. All right. Then from here, we're going to find that nice tall lunge, and I'd like everybody to keep your back knee up because we're transitioning to a wide space. So we're going to lower that right heel to the floor. Your left heel is going to line up with your right instep, so the middle of your right foot. And then from here, you're going to place your left hand onto your left thigh, drop your left buttock a little more, And then start to reach your right arm by your right ear as you press into that left thigh to help you come up into warrior two. Right arm reaches back, left arm reaches forward. Hold here. It's a long lunge, so just breathe. If your arms are really tired, you can place your hands on your hips. If your legs are really tired, take a break and then just come right back in. See if you can lift the center of your chest, descend through your shoulders, find space in your neck, look through that left middle finger, reach back through that right middle finger, stay with your breath for one more, and then as you exhale, let's come out. So the left hand comes down, the right hand comes down. You're going to lift your back heel. On your next inhalation, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back. So taking it all the way back and behind you. High lunge to hold. Spin the left heel to the floor. Right heel lines up with the left instep. Right knee over your ankle. Go ahead and draw that right buttock down. Right hand comes to your right thigh. Keep the hip down. And then take that left arm by your left ear. Press into that right thigh. Sweep the body open. Warrior two. Try to keep the knee over the ankle. Try to keep the thigh almost parallel with the floor. Hold here. If you need a break, straighten, come back in. If the arms need a break, take a break. Reach through your right middle finger, reach back through your left middle finger, look through that right middle finger. Stay breathing, keep your shoulders level. Stick with it, you're almost out. One more breath. Beautiful, straighten this right leg. Turn both feet to face forward, so you're facing the wide side of your mat. Your toes are in line. There's one big line between the two. You're going to go ahead and place your hands onto your hips. Take a big deep breath in. Engage your thigh muscles, so pull the thighs up and in. Lift through the center of the chest. And then as you exhale, shift forward by hinging at the hips. So press your first fingers into the hip bones and push those hip bones back as you bring the body long towards the floor. You can have blocks under your hands here if you'd like to, or you can have your head on the floor. You can go into your headstand if you want to, or your handstand. Shift that weight towards the balls of the feet. Keep breathing as you reach through the backs of the legs. Let the neck be long. Keep reaching the tailbone up. The head's heavy. You have a heavy head. We all do. One more breath. And then from here, press into your hands. And we're going to make our weight over to the right foot. So you're actually going to shift towards the right for a moment. And as you do that, your right knee is going to bend. Now you might need a block under your hands. Totally okay. But you're bending towards the right. The right knee bends, hands come to the ground. And you're just stretching here, just breathing, seeing how that feels. You can be slightly forward here. You might be shifting back towards the heel a little bit more, bringing the buttocks down a little bit more. We're going to come onto the fingertips to give us some more height. And then we're going to spin the left toes out and lift the right heel. So you're just drawing down onto the inside of that left leg. Some people can keep the right heel flat on the floor. Some people are going to be able to draw down straight onto the ground. Oops, I have a block in the way. Some people could just sit on a block here. So, finding that stretch that works for you. It's not always about doing the most advanced posture. It's more about learning from your body and what it needs. Stay with it, one more breath. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to come out. So, push through that right foot. Come right back into that wide leg forward fold. Let the body fold. Remember, one side of your body is always going to feel different than the other. We're going to start to walk the hands over to the left and just stretch. You might have a chair in front of you, which will help this. You might have your hands on blocks. You might not have anything. This might be where you stay. You might never go past this. You can draw your knee back a little bit behind your toes, really reach back through your buttocks, drop them down as low as you can. And then from here, we're gonna shift to the toes of the left foot, spin the right foot out, maybe the toes face down, maybe you come up, and hold here. Remember, you can drop down as low as you need to onto the thighs. Some people will drop the left heel to the floor as well. Finding space, opening the chest, embracing whatever may come. Right? You might feel this into the thigh, you might feel this all the way in the ankle, you might feel it in the calf, you might feel it in your heel. Maybe in your knee. If you're feeling pain in your knee, you've come down too low for you today. Learning about the body, because it's our vehicle, it's how we're going to navigate this world. All the ailments, all the difficulties, all the stresses, the shape, the form, the color, whatever it is, it's how we navigate this world. It comes with its own challenges and its own delights. You ready to come out? Come on out. Press through the foot, turn both feet to face forward, wide leg forward fold. Press the hands into the ground. Let's walk all the way over to the right and turn your right foot out. You can have your blocks under your hands if you'd like to, right? You can always keep a block nearby. From here, we're going to step back into plank. And then we're going to lower down to our belly for a moment. So whatever way you'd like to, you can drop the knees and then lower the belly. You can engage the core, keep this body strong like a plank, and then just lower down all the way to the floor. Untuck your toes. Walk the heels of your hands back so they're in line with the base of your ribs. Hug your elbows in so they're not splaying. Elbows in, shoulders back. And then from here, think of the top of the head lengthening away from the tail and start to lift the chest. So this is a little baby cobra to start. And you might be here and you're working on strengthening your back and your front, trying to keep yourself in a nice full line. Hug your elbows. And then nice and slow, maybe you put a little more pressure on your hands, but you engage the strength of your arms. You start to lift the center of your chest up. A little bit of engagement in the arms here. Maybe you stay here and see how that feels, or you engage the thighs and lift onto the tops of the feet. We usually are in this pose in passing, and I'd like you to use it to help open up, stretch, and create space. Notice my ears aren't by my shoulders here. Get space, engage your core. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Beautiful. And then from here, lower right back down. All the way wherever it is that you came from. Good. Relax your arms. You can take one cheek to the floor. Take a breath, maybe 3, maybe hundreds. Let it be slow. We spend a lot of times for work and for life hunching forward and rolling forward these days. So we're gonna add just a little more back bends to that. So come onto your elbows. The right elbow is going to stay on the ground here for a moment, and we're going to bend our left knee and bring our left foot towards us. So we're bringing our left foot towards the glute. Now for some people, it's really hard to grab that left foot. The right elbow can come off the ground to help give you a little bit more space to grab that foot, but if that's still not happening, you can grab or clasp using a strap, okay? And if you're not using a strap, that's okay. Don't worry about it. So the elbows are on the ground, the right elbow is going to stay on the ground, the right shoulder is going to stay down. We're going to pull that left heel towards us. We're going to reach back with this left arm and grab the foot. Now I'm grabbing from the inside of my foot, and I'm going to pull my right knee closer to my left. I don't want my knees to be far apart. And then from here, as I pull my foot down, I'm able to roll my shoulders back and just let my heel come wherever it goes. Some people have so much mobility here, this right heel is going to touch the floor next to their hips. I know it, I've seen it, it's amazing. I used to be able to do it, then I got old. So, holding here and breathing. You can stay here, and this is a beautiful place to be. Your fingertips can stay facing towards your ankle, and you can just push down, getting that stretch in your quadricep, getting that stretch in the front of your body. Or you can rotate your fingers in the same direction as your toes and press down. I know, it's half of a frog. The frog pose. Trying not to drop into your shoulder. You can also do this lower, for those of you who like to. And then we're gonna come all the way out. Release your feet and let your legs and feet rest. Okay, how'd that go? I can't hear you, but if you're yelling at me at the TV or on your computer, I get you. I hear you in my head. All right, so let's give it a try on the other side because we have two sides of the body. I know, nothing you didn't know, right? Left elbow is the one that's gonna stay. You might notice this side's tighter or looser. Who knows? Who cares? It's just a learning experience, right? All of this is a learning experience. Right hand comes back, grabbing from the inside of the foot. Maybe you're just working on pulling the heel down. Remember, I don't want you to split your knees too much. Don't let your left shoulder come into your ear. We're not just hanging out sad-faced. Lift out. Try to keep the hips level. As I said, if you're just breathing, hanging out here, maybe your fingertips are facing down to your ankle, right? That's the direction of the ankle. Or maybe you've rotated and turned your hands and they're pressing fingertips, or you have your fingertips in the same direction as your toes. Again, lifting out, breathing, cores engaged. We're not really tightening the glutes here. If you tighten your glutes, you might notice right away what's happening. You'll lose this pose. Let's do one more breath, maybe 3. And then release slow. Probably crack your toes a little bit on the way through. And then lower the arm and the leg. Good. Go ahead and lay back down again. You can place your arms under your head if you'd like, or you can let your arms rest behind you. So again, we're getting into this kind of deep space of the chest, deep space of the shoulders. And just because they're back bends does not necessarily make them easy, for sure. Especially since our body has such a hard time being in that. So the second pose that you're going to do is similar, but not exactly the same. You can do that with both feet, by the way. But most people don't have accessibility for that. So you can do this in a couple different manners. The first way of doing this would be you could bend your knees, reach towards your ankles and lift. You could also do a Superman, or you could do one leg at a time. We're going to go up twice, so if you wanted to do one leg at a time, you could. One leg at a time, you're going to pull into the foot and lift. You can even lift both legs, right? Okay, so most of the same premise though for about this back bend. You're going to bend both your knees. You can wiggle them a little bit for a second. Remember that your knees are going to come probably a little wide at first. So you're going to reach back with one hand. I'm starting with my left because it's closer to you, and then the right. I'm grabbing from the outsides of my ankles on purpose. And then from here, I can walk my knees closer together. I'd rather my legs be closer together than split. That's too hard on your knees, it's too hard on your hips. So then from here, you might just be holding here, and that's fine. You're just kind of hanging out, chest is lifting. Breathing into the belly. If you're grabbing one leg, pick the leg you're going to start with. Then from here, you're going to press your feet into your hands. Notice that lifts your chest. Now pull on your feet and see if you can lift your knees just a little bit. And then pull up a little higher and see what happens. Try not to splay your knees. Pull together. Good. Breathe here. And if you breathe into your belly, you might start to rock. Or not. Maybe you're not rocking at all. Maybe today's not your rock. You feel that pulse in your belly? And then lower all the way down. Take a break. Maybe wiggle your hips. All back bends need a core a engaged core, engorged, don't do that, an engaged core. All right, we're going up our second time. First time was practice, second time to hold. And then if you were doing one leg, please switch legs. And if you were doing Superman, do Superman. If you were doing a variation of this, please do it. All right, let's get there. And the knees will be wide at first. We'll reach back. And then we'll walk the knees in. Even if you're one leg, okay? Hug your knee in. Then we'll take a deep breath in. We'll exhale, fully contracting the belly. And then we'll inhale by pressing the hands into the feet into the hands, lifting chest and knees. And if you can't lift your knees, that's okay. Some people can put their knees right on the ground and just lift their chest, and that's awesome too. It looks like a camel pose, only laying down on your belly. Maybe your breath starts to make you rock. Maybe you have to squeeze to center a little more. Stay with your breath. We're almost out. 3 more. You have to breathe. 2 more. Last one. Woo! Lower your legs, lower your arms, rock your hips from side to side. It's a pretty incredible back bend, so just breathe. Awesome. Bend both your knees, windshield wiper your legs. We want to do this because we're going to go into a child's pose, which is a forward fold, and I don't want you going from back bend to forward fold right away. All right, come back into center, extend your legs, press your hands into the floor, roll back, come into a child's pose. And again, see if you can get a little deeper, see if your hips will draw back a little more, you have more idea of what's going on in your back body. Take one more breath. Awesome. Let's come forward into hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Still working on engaging or bringing space into the chest and really creating space in the chest, but also in the upper back as well, or attention to the upper back. Let's go ahead and lift the right arm up. And then slide that right arm underneath of your left. Bend your left elbow and bring your right cheek to the floor. Press into your left hand here and just breathe. And then press into that left hand to come up. Place your right hand under your shoulder, reach your left arm up with an inhale, and exhale, take it underneath the right. Same thing, twisting through the upper body. Pressing into that right hand. Press into the right hand, come back up into center. Come into cat-cow for a moment. Bring your spine into a neutral position, hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Reach your right arm forward so that it's reaching towards the floor, fingertips on the ground. Send that left leg back. Good. Hips are level, so they want to be open here. I want you to draw your hip down. Flex the left foot. Remember that we don't want overextension here. We want to keep our body nice and in line. And then from this position, you can go ahead and lift that right arm by your right ear. So we're working on this nice little balance of the left hand and the right knee, the front and the back of the body. Bend your left knee, sweep your right arm back. See if you can locate the foot. I'm grabbing from the inside this time, and then hold. Stay breathing. This should look a little familiar, just a little. Great job. Release release that left leg, place the right hand down, send that left leg out to the side. So turn your toes out, carry out to the side. Walk your hands all the way to the right. Right hand's gonna go onto a block. I'm gonna use a blanket because it sits nearby, or onto the floor. Lift your left arm to the sky. We want to keep that right hand in line with that right knee. Flex your left foot, engage your core, pelvis is forward here slightly. Lift the left leg. To grab the foot, you'll probably need to bend, reach back, get it whatever way you can, and press the foot into the hand, hands pulls into the foot, open up the front of the body. Let that knee stay upright though, okay? Don't drop it. Stay up. Release the left foot. Sweep it all the way forward. Bring the hands to the floor on each side of the left leg. You can stay here or you can sit back. Finding that stretch, pulling the toes towards your nose. For those of you who have the availability, you can place a block under your buttocks, or you can move that calf muscle out of the way and sit your butt down. Right knee's behind you, or excuse me, right foot's behind you, and you can come into a forward fold. And breathe. Take 1 or 2 more breaths. Bring the hands back to the floor. We have to come out of this the way we came in. So, press your hands into the ground. Shift to your right knee if you're not there. Walk the hands forward. And step that left knee next to the right. Let's do it on the other side. Go ahead and extend your left hand forward, fingertips to the earth. Reach your right leg back. Be mindful of its position. Flex the foot. Squeeze to center. Hold here. Stay breathing. Lift that left arm by your left ear. Core engaged. Bend your right knee, bring the heel towards your glute. Reach your left arm back. Grab the inside of the ankle. It's what you probably can hold on to. Hold here. Press the foot into the hand into the foot. Breathe. Should, as I said, be very familiar. We've been here a couple times now. Don't let that knee open out to the side. One more breath. Beautiful. Release that left leg. Take your hands down. Reach the left leg back. Turn your foot. Carry it away from you. Place that right foot in line with your left knee. Walk to the left. Everything's in one line. Right arm comes up. Block under the hand if you need to. Here we go. Flex that right foot, lift. Bend the knee. Grab hold of the foot with your hand. Keep the knee elevated. Keep your leg up. Don't drop it. Open up your chest. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Some of you are touching your toes to your head here. Muzzle, muzzle. Keep breathing. One more breath. Don't drop your knee. Release. Send that right leg all the way forward. Bring the hands down to each side of the leg. Stay here. See what happens. Place blocks. Or walk back. If it hurts your knee, don't. Sit back. Or if you feel like you can move that calf flesh out of the way because it can be a little bit of a hindrance, and sit your buttocks on the ground. And then from this position, sitting up tall and coming into a forward fold that works for you. This is my tight side. So I might, for people who are tight on either side, you can place a blanket or a block under your glute and bring yourself down. Here for 2 more breaths. Last one. All right. Come off of that glute or block, and then we're going to come out of this, as I said, same way. So coming to the heel, drawing the foot forward, and then hands and knees. I'm going to turn to face you here. And then from this position, I'm going to shift my hips to the left. I have to remember what the left is for you. There we go. And I'm going to draw my hips down, so as I shift my hips to the left, my legs are going to come to the right. Now I can take my right leg, my right knee, and I can place it right at the bottom of my left foot. If your hip is really well off here, or you're finding yourself not able to sit like this, place a blanket underneath of your buttocks. Good. So we're going to go into a mermaid twist. Probably not the name the Sanskrit scholars gave you. So we're going to take this right hand to the front of the left leg, left hand behind you, and twist. Then we're going to keep the right hand on the outside of the left leg. We're going to lift this left arm up. We're just going to lean to the right. And I want you to really breathe into your ribs. Really breathe into your side. And then release the arms. And we're going to switch directions. So that might mean that you can just power through a boat and take it to the other side. Or you might want to come to your knees, shift your hips to the right, and drop down. So my right foot and my left knee are connected. So we're sitting, breathing, and then we're twisting. So left hand to the outside of the right hip and twist. Blanket under our body if we need it. Keep the connection of the left hand and the right knee. Reach your right arm up. Start to lean to the left. Come back into center. Turn both legs to face forward. You can sit on a blanket here. Totally okay. Take the soles of your feet together. Place blocks under your knees if that's what feels best for you, if your knees feel a little uncomfortable there. Move the heels in as close to your pelvis as is best for you. Grab your ankles, lift the center of your chest. And just give yourself a moment to feel the connection from the tailbone to the top of the head. You could even feel the connection from the mouth all the way down the digestive system. Think of me as one long tube. Beautiful. And then from here, go ahead and lay down onto your back. So once you have laid down onto your back, I'm going to just stay seated because there's no reason for you to watch me lay on my back. Once you have laid down onto your back, go ahead and let the shoulders draw down into the mat. If you would like to add in another twist, you are welcome to do so. We have double knee twist or individual knee twist or just the windshield wipering of the knees. But I'm going to start moving us into Shavasana since we just did that nice mermaid twist. So as you're laying on the ground and you're starting to feel the weight of your body against the floor, starting to feel the connection of the back body to the ground. The parts of your back body that are attached to the ground, the parts of your back body that are elevated from the ground. Knowing the back body for what it is, it's the back of the head, back of your neck, your shoulder blades, your spine, back spine, the muscles of your back, your lower back, your tailbone, your buttocks, the back of your arms, the knuckles. In theory, the knuckles are facing down. The backs of your legs, your thighs, your glutes, backs of your knees and your calves, ankles, the heel. And as you bring into consciousness your connection to the ground in all of those places, and then look for where you aren't in contact with the ground in those spaces there. And then breathe really deep into the front body, those places that are not in contact directly with the ground. And as you inhale, I'd like you to imagine that you're expanding the front body. You're really feeling the body open up to the air around you, to the sun above you, to the sky. And then as you exhale, feel how the back body can rest up, or this front body rest on the back body, and the back body rest onto the ground. So you become heavier, broader, more open. You've created space. Then as you're laying here, start to feel the breath slow a little bit. Notice what it's like to breathe for you right now. Notice what your body feels like when you breathe. See if you're holding tight in the muscles of your face. See if you're holding tight in the muscles of your throat and jaw. Are you clutching your hands, gripping through the toes or the fingers? Are you contracting the muscles around your chest? Are you trying to hold your stomach tight? Are you squeezing the legs, gripping through the joints? And then as you're looking at all of these individual factions of your body, these little things, think to yourself, who is looking at these things? Who is inspecting your vehicle? Your body's not inspecting your vehicle. It is the vehicle. Becoming more and more aware of the watcher within, the soul within. Pure consciousness. And take one or two more breaths, just experiencing being the watcher, being pure consciousness. The being who can watch your thoughts. Then when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then start to bring your knees to your chest and roll over to your right side in the fetal position. And then pressing down through your left hand and coming all the way up into seated. You cannot simultaneously have and be the same thing. So you can have a body, but you can't be the body. You are a soul. You don't have a soul. You can have thoughts, but you're not being thoughts. And you're way more simple and way more complex than that. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Bow your head. Thank you so much for coming to class today, and have the best